Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for coming out.
Have you ever seen TikToks this small?
Aren't they adorable?
Somewhat notoriously small, Bitsy.
This is the cute. Well, no, but like the thing is.
Adorable. Immediately stole mine.
I love
Thank you.
tiny things.
Yeah.
Somebody gave me a little tiny duck yesterday, and I was like, I will keep this forever. I don't think you understand how much it means to me. I love tiny, small things.
Yeah, me too. Obviously.
I immediately grabbed them.
Yeah. You're like, I'm taking these home with me.
Yeah, for my daughter.
Oh my
Our
gosh,
daughter.
yeah. How old?
She is almost 6. Yeah.
Isn't it crazy?
Yeah.
My daughter will be 17.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Yeah, you guys said,
Yeah.
Look at the love, the chemistry between you two. I mean, obviously they all love the show and will continue loving it. When was the moment that you guys realized you had such an impact on so many other people?
Take it, baby.
I mean, I remember when we premiered, I'm pretty sure it was like Game 7 of the World Series, and it was a Friday evening, and I just thought, oh, we're gonna bomb. And we killed it on NBC, and I always kind of felt like NBC didn't quite know what to do with us, but we had premiered in the fall of 2011, and every other big drama that they were throwing a ton of money into Mark M&A, they all got canceled, and we just kind of kept plugging away and chugging away or whatever on Friday nights at 9 for 6 seasons. Yeah.
I think for me it was filming of the pilot. I didn't know if the show was going to go longer. I thought it might be one episode and done. But I remember I was off camera and they were shooting Monroe outside of his house as Monroe, and he was marking his territory. I'm like, oh, this might be something.
Yeah, 6 seasons. I mean, over 100 episodes, right?
123, yeah.
Whew, it's insane. How do you think that your character evolved? Were you great with it? Did you think that there could have been more to your character?
Well, I'll say this, for Bitsy, the creators of the show kind of look at the actors and they gauge what they can do, who has the range, and they decided, I don't have the range. But they said that Bitsy does, so she had one of the greatest character arcs. In fact, you played 2 characters, so...
I always think of it actually as 3, because there was Juliet, then there was the Juliet Hexenbeast, and then there was Eve. So
Well, there you go. You know, that's 3.
Yeah.
They didn't ask that of me. Just wear the badge. Go.
Yeah.
What about you as actors and as people? How did you evolve throughout the seasons? Was there a lesson that you learned that you now have taken with you onto other jobs?
I mean, I will say this, giving a lot of props to David. He was a great number 1, and that's your, status on the call sheet. And he was obviously the leader of the show, so he was billed number 1, and then Russell was 2, and I was 3. And he just kept his head down and did the work, and he worked so hard. I don't think he had a day off till like halfway through season 3, and we were filming 10 months straight. He was in practically every scene, and the rest of us all had days off, and we were just hanging out in Portland and traveling, and I remember a few of us went to Rome, and you showed up. You showed up to work early, you knew your lines, and you were a great leader. And so then when I booked Superman and Lois, I recall being like, I have to have that same level of professionalism and work ethic, and I want to be David on Superman and Lois, as far as respecting the crew, always knowing my lines, always being to work early, and all of that. So you inspired me.
Thank you so much for saying that. Isn't that
Earning brownie cakes.
nice? Hey, if anybody has recorded that, please send it to DM.
You want to play it on a loop over and over?
Yeah, I mean, they did work, because it's not like a daytime show. It's at night, and a lot of times we would start as the sun went down. You just wait for the sun to go down to shoot, and then I had these blue blockers in my car, so that when I would drive home, like the light of the morning sun wouldn't wake me up so I could fall asleep. And then somewhere in the middle of season 1, I remember I had taken a shower. I was in the nude, but please.
I think gosh, you were taking a shower in a bathing
I was
suit.
taking a shower. I try to take one every few months. But I was like, what is it? I had like a white chest hair. I'm like, well, that's Grimm. Grimm gave me that thing.
David has 2 sayings, both of which I love. One of them is, I aged like an avocado.
I did.
And then the other one is when people are like, what was it like? And his other one was, I aged like a wartime president.
It's true. But yeah, I mean, when I booked it, I was so new to LA, and I had no idea the responsibility and workload, and you learn that very quickly. And I'm so lucky I had such a supportive cast and such a talented cast who kind of like hoisted me up like Rudy at the end of Rudy. Just like, we'll hold him up. Weekend at Bernie's, maybe. And yeah, I kind of relied on their talent to kind of get me through. And then I found my sea legs, I feel.
Yeah, that's awesome. It is a fantasy. Did you guys have difficulties like holding back laughter in some scenes? Because you are being so serious, but you're also dealing with monsters and visual and practical effects. Do you ever like just chuckle and have to hold back the giggles?
No.
Not for that reason.
Actually, like that was a big problem for me on Superman and Lois for some reason, but the only thing that was just, I'm like, come on, this is ridiculous. You know, there'd be some like giant monster or spider, and for your eye line, they just put a pink Post-it note next to the camera. So you just have to pretend like, you know, this
The
pink
biggest
Post-it
spider
note
in the
is
world.
so scary. But yeah, what?
I laughed my little tush off
Yeah.
constantly. But it wasn't because the show was ridiculous, it was just because I was a dum-dum, you know? I'm a bit of a dum-dum head. And I will say this, one of my best friends in the world, Tom Schmidt, visited, remember?
Yeah.
And he's from St. Louis, Missouri, he came like season 5. He's like, I want to visit set. And that day, we were filming, it was ridiculous. We were filming something called the Rat King episode, which turned out well. But when we're shooting it, there was nothing there. It was just, there wasn't even a stick. So we're just running like, whoa, you know, just staring at nothing. And I remember telling my friend Tom, I'm like, man, just don't come today, please. Like, it's so embarrassing. He's like, all right, fair enough.
Yeah.
But it turned out very nice.
Yeah.
It is a fun job, but it's still a job no matter what. Do you ever sit back and think of how surreal it is that you kind of get to play pretend every single day and use your imagination? Just like you said, you're looking at a Post-it note or out into the ether and staring at nothing, but still having to visualize there's a character in front of you.
Yeah, I mean, we both feel extremely grateful that we've been, you know, he went on to do a show called A Million Little Things after Grimm. I went on to Superman and Lois, and just really grateful because we get to make our living as artists, and I love being on genre shows. I love meeting the fans. I finally got him into the con circuit with me.
She did it. She used a very long stun gun. It's meant for livestock, and here I am.
But, you know, you can probably speak a little bit about the Grimm reboot that's in development.
We love a good spoiler.
Yeah, so, keep in mind, no contracts have been signed. So, like, who knows? Things fall apart. Who wrote Things Fall Apart? Chinua Achebe. Anyway, but there is like legit work being done on a movie for Peacock. It would start as a movie. Peacock is the streamer for NBC, Universal, Disney, the whole thing. And there's a movie, and much of the original cast will be there. And the idea from there would be kind of a small, maybe a series here or there. So yeah, fingers crossed on that one. We're all very excited about it, and apparently the script is looking very nice.
Out of any fandom, you don't have to be a Grimm. What special ability would you choose?
Oh, teleportation. I'd love to just be able to, you know, blink my eyes and be in London or something, somewhere cool.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
Stretchy neck.
Just neck? Just nothing else? Just the
Well,
neck?
think about this. So, now I don't like teleportation. Ever since I was a kid, I'm like, oh man, I'm on the couch. I really want the Doritos, but I don't want to move. And so, like, you just stretch your neck into the kitchen, like, open the thing with your mouth, and then grab the Doritos. And then, like...
Just the neck. That makes no sense to me. It's just the neck.
You
gotta
could totally
open
use
the
it on.
bag.
Yeah. Well,
With
that
the
is,
tea.
that would imagine if you were sitting next to me, that would be a stunning thing to
But
see.
it's imaginary. And you didn't think, like, let me also imagine long, stretchy arms to
Yes.
go along with it.
Yes, that's not how I did it though. That's not what I was given. I was given stretchy neck, and that's who I am. And you know what? If you have a problem with it, that's on you.
I love that it was a childhood thing, though.
Yeah,
that
I
you still
really
hung on
wanted it,
to.
and The kitchen was far away.
Working together as a couple for prolonged periods of time has to be fun at times and also exhausting. How did you keep that spice to your life? What were you guys doing outside of work to keep the love alive?
I mean, listen, she's the most patient woman on the face of the planet. It doesn't take much. I can exhaust someone in a matter of seconds. Yeah, Exhibit A, the
I don't
stretching
think
that
any
thing.
of us would be exhausted. We could all listen to you all day.
But it honestly was the most fun thing in the world. I mean, it was funny. We're both actors. We do the same job. And we put each other on tape for auditions that we really are interested in. And I was putting her on tape the other day, and I was just sitting back and I'm like, man, it's really kind of cool that I admire your acting. Like, I really do. And if it wasn't that way, it wouldn't be as cool. So, to answer your question, I mean, I admire her work so much that it is a joy to watch her work. I trust her instincts. So if she gives me a note, I don't like kick it out immediately. I'm like, yeah, she's probably right. So it's been fun.
Women often are.
He also
exactly right.
directed a very important episode in season 4 of Superman and Lois, season 4, episode 3. So he directed me, and you did a wonderful job.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm walking onto her set. I was so nervous. It was like, for no reason. You guys are the kindest people. I didn't want to muck this one up, you know? The stakes were high.
I'm sure your families are super proud of you guys, and you guys are parents yourself. What are you most proud of being a parent?
Oh, we can't take credit. Our daughter's just a magical little creature.
She popped
Yeah.
out.
She popped out a happy, charming, curious, wonderful child.
She's like a little non-bearded leprechaun. Just, you know?
Sneaking around?
Oh, just rapscallion, scampering, full of mischief. She's the best. She's so weird. I love her. She's as weird as I am. She got my weird.
Yeah.
She's like, Daddy, we're so weird, in a good way. I'm like, here we are.
I love being weird. It's more fun that way.
Of course,
right?
it's wonderful.
When you guys are off the clock and you get time to relax for once, what is your go-to pastime? My guilty pleasure is reality TV. What is yours?
I rewatched with him because I was saying, you know, these are performances that as an actor we should watch. I rewatched Succession.
That was fun. We just finished
and
that
now
one.
we're watching Shrinking, which I had already gotten through. And
Really good
it's
one.
just great comedic timing, and I love watching good acting. So that's usually what we do after we get our daughter to sleep.
Yeah, the day is just work. This kid is like, you know, she's a dervish, this child.
Yeah.
And so by the time, you know, we have no time to connect. So we just like unplug, lay down for 30 minutes, watch that, and then you try to watch like 10 more. I'm like, I can't, baby.
When you guys are ever separated, do you try to watch the same show and then try to tell each other about it or anything?
Have we done
I think I've tried
We've tried.
because he moves at a glacial pace, and I'm like, I want to watch 3 in a night, and he's like, I will watch half of one with you, and then drive me nuts. So I feel like there have been some times when I've done cons overseas, and usually then I'll be gone for 10, 12 days to try to catch up, but it's never happened.
I think at one point we were seated across a plane from each other and we tried to like link up our iPads. Like, press play now!
Yeah, that's happened a couple times.
That's super cute.
Yeah.
So what are you guys bad at? I'm sure you're very great at everything, which we always talk about. Oh, you're good at this, good at that. But what are you bad at?
Can I do you?
No,
no, this is gonna be fun. So this human being, she's gorgeous. She's a Harvard graduate. She's got brains. I can't knock her for anything. She can't like walk through a door without like hitting her head on it. It is remarkable. That's the one thing you're bad at. Like, where does the door
have
frame
depth
end
perception
and where is the
issues.
space?
Depth perception and spatial awareness.
You
issues.
lack the cerebellum.
Yeah.
That's fine. You're all cerebrum.
No, it's
Yeah.
true. I'm constantly bruised, and people be like, "How'd you get them?" I'm like, I don't know, just
No, there's
But
a
they
probable
even
cause
do it
to arrest
too.
me.
Yeah.
Because she keeps calling.
They look at the husband first
Like,
always.
I swear to God.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's see.
I keep stubbing her toe.
She needs foam stairs. I don't know.
Am I bad at it?
You could cook more. You're a good cook, and you don't cook a lot.
So I'm bad at doing the cooking.
because you don't do it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
And when he was trying to woo me, he'd make this like baked chicken
Yeah, I
and
remember
stuff
that.
it with rosemary and lemons, and that hasn't happened in a
I
while.
remember when you were trying to woo me, you would just like ask me about my day and just sit and let me jabber. And that hasn't happened in a while either. It waxes and
I'm
wanes.
like, now that we're married, and we have to tell him like, all right, you have 60 seconds before I
Yeah,
gotta do
okay.
that.
What happened? Also, listen, Orlando, I'm gonna start cooking more, okay?
Yes!
Hold me to it.
I love that. You hear your wife, and then you're gonna take it, use it,
Yeah.
and actually like apply
I'll
it
do
to
that.
life.
I like software update from time to time. I try to listen and do make some changes. I am bad, I'll tell you. Multitasking? What? No, there's no such thing as far as I'm concerned. I can do one thing okay at once. Two things, everything falls apart.
I just want to say, because David has a flight, and I'd
Yes.
love to get.
I don't want to interrupt you, but I
Flight
also want
tonight.
you guys to be able to ask some fan questions. I'm going back to the table after this, but he does have to leave to go to a flight.
Yeah.
I actually have pre-submitted fan questions.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thank you for this.
Perfect.
All right. Okay. So this is Olivia from Orlando. Are you ready? Grimm has so many exciting twists. What was the most unexpected moment or scene from when you were reading the script?
I did not know they were going to do the huge character change between season 4 and season 5, and I love that they kept me out of it for the first 3 or 4 episodes of season 5, because then people really thought, because people were like, oh, there's no way they're going to kill her off, but they were like, no, you're coming back, but not in the beginning, because we really want to, have this moment land where she shows up and he's like, Juliet, and I have the white wig on, and
That was a good reveal.
that was a
Character
fun, and I remember just being like, okay, what do you want me to channel? And I had seen the Bridget Fonda Nikita, and I was like, I'm just gonna kind of model this Eve character based on La Femme Nikita. Yeah.
I loved those wigs. I gotta tell you.
Did you take any home?
I do.
Again, the wooing period.
I don't even know if I wore this one on the show. There was a really cute red bob wig, and then I kept those. I still have those leather pants.
I will tell you, you have those other bands, not bad. I remember like Vivian, our daughter, like put on a wig, and I'm like, well, that's the end of that. No longer means that for me.
That's great. Ethan from Tampa asks, your characters have such unique powers and traits. If you could choose any Wesson trait for yourself, what would it be and why?
I like the blue bod sense of smell. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That would. I mean, actually, that sounds like it could be not fun.
You would
Yeah,
hate
I take it
that.
back.
You know
I take it back.
Ew, who's wearing?
I don't know. Ice beavers are so cute, and I always loved the ice beaver characters because there was nothing threatening about them, and I felt like we needed to have some levity in the show. So I loved Danny Bruno, who played Bud.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
We need to get him back in the show if we do this.
Oh yeah.
I just want to be the blobfish character. There was a character, like, we're like deep into the seasons. We're like, one turns into a blobfish. And it didn't do anything, really, it just was. And that's what I want to be.
This is from Jacob from Jacksonville. David, Nick's journey from cop to Grimm was wild. What was one of your favorite memories playing him that stands out most to you?
Some of my favorite moments were the scenes in which I was telling my friends, finally, like Hank, Juliet, whomever, hey, so there's this thing going on with me, and I can see these monsters. I loved those scenes, and I loved mostly, as always, watching my fellow actors absorb that in their characters. Oh my gosh, that was so fun. Except when I told you, they brought in a rain truck. Like, Portland needs more rain.
It was the most ridiculous waste of money.
It was frigid.
It was pouring rain,
It was-
and then they brought in a rain truck.
And it was like 32-degree water, 33-degree water.
When I say it was dumping on us because of the rain truck and the pouring rain, I had not when they were filming, but then I switched into like my cozy boots. So I had rain boots on, and I took them off, and I just dumped water out. I mean, we were soaking wet.
They were going for it.
Yeah.
But we wanted that second season.
And you got it.
Yeah, we did.
Sometimes it takes a little sacrifice to get what you
Just
want.
say yes until you get another season.
Maya wants to know, there's a lot of dark and funny moments. Do you have a favorite scene that made you laugh the most?
I think we have the same answer on this. Season 6, episode 7.
Oh,
I think it's called Love is Blind or something.
Yeah,
It's the
Love's
one where
Blind.
everyone falls in love with everyone else, or Love Struck. I don't know, something like that. And Hank, of course, falls in love with himself.
By the way, Russell pitched that to the writers.
Yeah.
They're like, love me.
Yeah, let's get it on. That was a very fun episode to shoot. We also were on location for the only time where we actually like slept in the hotel we were filming in, and it kind of felt like a party.
There's this beautiful city like outside of Portland called Hood River, right on Hood River. And there's a gorgeous old historical hotel, and we all stayed there, whoever wanted to, and it was a blast. Also, we shot that like daylight hours, the entire thing.
Yeah,
It was ridiculous, and it felt like an episode of Ally McBeal, but for those of you who are my
Oh
age
my
or older.
gosh. I forgot about that show.
Yeah, it was just kind of silly, and it was a nice change of pace.
Yeah.
That's amazing. If Grimm had a spin-off series with your characters, Parker from Fort Lauderdale would like to know, what would you want to explore more about their lives or new adventures?
You take this, Tulloch.
I was going to say, you take it. Well, I know everyone wants to see the Monrosalie babies.
Yes.
So some cuteness.
Those have to be. That's got to be cast really well.
He's the only one that's met with the new writer about this reboot, so...
So yeah, I don't know much. I haven't read the script.
Yeah.
What would I want to see? I'll tell you what I don't want to do. I want just to be the wise Grimm who it gets like wheeled out, and like people be like, oh, there's Bauerschwein who's attacking. Okay, well I can't do this anymore. But here's what you do. I give them all the information, and then they fight, and then they just kind of wheel me back.
Not even a motorized.
No. This is the
Straight
world
up.
of Grimm. Oh, this is probably Monroe's chair. It's there's no motor.
Ella from Orange Park asks, you both had to portray such intense relationships with other characters. Was there one particular on-set moment that you really felt like a true connection between you and your co-star? You can't answer about yourself. You can't answer about each other. You can't use that.
I mean, all of them. I mean, we're all so tight. We all shot in Portland, Oregon, and stayed there the entire time. And I think television shows that film in cities where people live, they already have lives outside of the show. That's great. But what happened with us in Portland is we really became a unit. So, of course, I mean
Bree Turner is my best friend in the world, and I loved filming with her, and I loved the scene that we did, and there were other characters in it too, but when I revealed, like, hey, I'm a hex and beast, and I morphed for her in the spice shop, she's just very present, and she's amazing. She's our daughter's auntie, like she's just always over, and Silas, and Reggie I just went to a gala with. We're all still very close.
Yeah, so I mean, the connections are real.
Yeah. You guys still have a chat? Do you guys text? You got a group thing
I'll tell you what, when that spin-off got announced, that chat thing
the chat was blowing up. No, but I mean, Silas and Bree are coming over. Next week's our daughter's birthday to celebrate with her. So I mean, it's a very tight. And in fact, I think Reggie might be coming too.
Yeah, here we go.
And Jim Kauf and Lynn Kauf. Jim Kauf was one of the co-creators, and
Jim Kauf and David Greenwald created the show,
Yeah.
and we're all still tight.
And they're basically like.
We got married on their ranch.
We did.
They had a ranch.
What are you most grateful for from 2024, and what are you most looking forward to in 2025?
There was a brief moment in time when we weren't sure, because the CW had been sold to a company called Nexstar, whether or not Superman and Lois was going to get a 4th season. And we already knew that, we were originally supposed to go 7 or 8 seasons. That was the plan that had been scripted. And then all of a sudden it's like, are we even going to wrap this up? Because for those of you in the room who've seen the show, the end of episode 3 is Doomsday and Superman flying at each other and then cuts to black. And I was just thinking, no, that cannot be how the series ends. So I was extremely grateful, and I know it kind of sucked because we had huge budget cuts and cast cuts, but I was so grateful that we got those final 10 episodes to really wrap up Superman and Lois. Also just for the fans, because it would have been such a bummer if we had ended. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, 2024, very grateful to be able to direct on your series. That's something I want to do more of. So 2025, I don't know, I'm having fun.
David's on a new show called High Potential
That's right.
on
I think
ABC.
it airs on Tuesday. I premiere on Tuesday there.
Yeah, so tune in.
Grateful for my spouse / publicist / manager, personal manager / boss.
A couple silly questions before I let you go. If we were to scroll through your social media feed, what 3 things would pop up in your algorithm? What shows
my
up for you?
Rotund objects, rotund animals, and probably like political news stuff.
Instagram thinks I'm an Italian man. And it's all, my very patient wife. I just like walk around the house trying to speak Italian to myself all day. I'm obsessed.
David, I'm gonna brag. You taught yourself Italian. He also got his EU citizenship, and so our daughter has it by proxy through Italy, and that was a long process.
Why not?
And he just signed with an Italian agent, like to be, So you know,
I'm gonna be in Italian TV shows now. It's so silly, just for no reason. I did not need to learn this language. Does anybody speak out there? There we go. Nobody. See? Why would I learn Italian?
Incredible, though. That's absolutely amazing.
Thanks for saying.
I know you're heading to the airport. Are you guys the kind of people that like to be there early or walking right on the
This
plane?
is just our marital. I would get there several hours early and just sit and just zone out. She wants to get there as the plane is starting to roll. But we're on separate flights today, so we don't have that problem.
No, I mean it got to the point. I have actually never missed a flight, but I've often been running through airports,
I
which
think
I
you've
literally
missed flights.
Yes! They're saying your name like Bitsy, last call.
Oh, yeah.
You're like,
I've
I'm a
definitely heard
dum-dum.
my name.
I didn't look, and it was this gate, and then
But
the other one.
that's usually like a connecting flight. That doesn't count.
Well, that is it.
But,
Connecting what?
But this flight, the flight from LA to Orlando, I got there, I walked straight onto the airplane. I'm like, that was perfect. Like, I do not like hanging out in airports.
No one wants
He
the
wants
intro.
to get there early. I think there have been a couple times when we were on the same flight that we just left separately.
Yeah, I was
So I'm
like,
like,
I
I
can't
don't want to
handle
be
waiting.
there 3
I'm gonna
hours
die.
early for a domestic flight.
I would
Yeah.
combust.
Yeah.
You know. Anyhow.
Yeah.
My friend and I, my best friend and I are the same way, so we compromise.
Yeah.
We don't go super early and not right on time. I go, come on, just give me like an hour at least. So we're always compromising on time.
I've gotten better at like instead of just waiting, I like do something while you're kind of doing your thing.
Yeah. Although I will say,
Italian.
he wanted to be there this whole time, but then somebody from the con said the Orlando airport is notoriously unpredictable.
Are we right about that?
Yeah, and that the TSA pre-check lines could be over an hour long, and so that's why they said, you know what, we have to pull you early.
Yeah.
Like it's 6:15. I have a 6:15 flight. It's fine. They're like, no.
No.
Yeah.
No. I'd be there right now too. So, oh my gosh,
I'm
can you
okay.
guys
I'll miss
give
it
it
for you
up?
guys.
He does have to catch a flight. Please give it up.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you so much for being here. Thank you guys.
I'll be back at the table until about 5:15 or so, so I hope to meet you guys. Thank you so much.
Bye, guys.